Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mitchell. Hey, in today's video, I want to touch on building your social skills improves over time. I'm really excited to film this video because I'm noticing a pattern here, okay? When it comes to, let's say, I guess where I'm going with this, like as far as social skills go, if you are a guy that wants to start learning how to cold approach women in public so we don't have to rely on dating apps, because if you look at dating in general, it's a numbers game. So the more places you have to meet women, the better your chances. So there's dating apps, there's Bumble, Hinge, Tinder, then you got social media, Facebook, Instagram, and then you have what I think is arguably the best approach, and that's going to be in person. The reason why is because when you're in person, you get to see if that girl is immediately interested in you or not based on subtle signs. But the point of filming this video is how do we improve those social skills? Because the fear of rejection and that anxiety of caring what this girl's opinion is of you or not is what stops most men, and to this day, including myself, depending on how hot the girl is, from going and approaching people. So I want to see if I can share with you ways that I believe you can get better at this. Now, I'm listening to an audiobook right now called Models by Mark Manson, one of the many dating books that I've listened to. And Mark's a great guy. And in this book, he says that dating coaches, they will put the people they're coaching, they'll put them in like one of the hardest positions that they can be in. Like they might go to a club and he might say, okay, go up and approach those group of girls right there and try to get a phone number. So I mean, you're at a nightclub with you're going up to a group of women when you've never really practiced like approaching girls in the first place. And the idea here is if I can put you in like one of the worst, hardest situations possible, then when you want to go and talk to somebody like by themselves, it's not going to be that bad. The problem with that, and the way Mark explains it, is if you're not constantly doing something on incremental levels, then you're never going to like improve, or you're never going to maintain that level of competence that you're going to build over time. So if you're put in a situation where you're like freaking the fuck out, you're like, bro, I don't even know what to do here. And to this day, when it comes for me approaching like groups of girls, dude, it's still hard. I did it the other day at the gym with my dog. I looked at them and it's kind of awkward to go up to like two different girls and just like try to start a conversation. But that was new for me. I've never done that before, and I went up and did it the other day. So where I'm going with this is if you're put in a situation like that where it's like you're like going to get scared shitless, but if you do it one time it should be easy, that's not the case, because just because you do it one time doesn't mean you're naturally all of a sudden going to learn how to approach girls like effortlessly. What you want to do here is you want to take it day by day, and you want to take it one step at a time. So what I used to do, when I started learning this on my own, I've naturally been good at talking to people, but I went straight for approaching girls I don't know. Other coaches I've seen, they will tell you to warm up like by going to the mall or the grocery store or like the gym or just social places and saying good morning or good afternoon to people. The way Mark explains it, he says if you go up to girls and just ask for what time it is, once you do that enough times, that anxiety of approaching girls is going to go down, because all you're doing is you're training yourself to see that, okay, if I go up to a girl and I say, hey, excuse me, do you know what time it is? The more you do that, you're going to rewire your brain to think positively. Okay, I know that if I go up to a girl and I ask for what time it is, she's more than likely going to give me the time, and I'm not going to get rejected. Now, if you're going to go straight for approaching girls, what I teach when I teach guys how to do this is very simply go up to a girl and just say, hey, excuse me, what's your name? That's it. Every single time I have one girl out of the fucking tons that I've approached, one girl has came off as if she was like absolutely disgusted with like talking to men or a guy like me, or like my wheelchair scared her. But I still played it cool. I was just like, okay, well, hey, you know what? Hey, have a good day, and I left. Because you want to be indifferent, man. Even if a girl's going to react to you pretty badly like that, you want to be like, all right, I don't care. So what I recommend is, like I said, if you go up to a girl and just say, hey, excuse me, what's your name? And then just say, hey, it's nice to meet you. And then or say, hey, excuse me, what's your name? She'll tell you her name. Then say, hey, it's nice to meet you. And then from that point on, she's going to say, it's nice to meet you too, or it's nice to meet you too, what's your name? And then you have a choice in there. You can just end the conversation, you can give her your name, and you can continue the conversation. All right? Now, I'm at the point now where I will sometimes skip like giving them my name based on in the moment. I don't recommend that you do that because if a woman asks for your name, she has to consciously ask for your name, and that's a really like subtle sign that she's at least open to talking to you, and that's a good sign of interest. So if you're going to go up to someone and do that, if you're just going to skip and go straight to approaching girls like that, I would always start with waiting to see if they ask for your name in return. Okay. So that's going to be the baby step then of how you can do this. Now the hardest part right here is getting over that fear of rejection and that anxiety. So what's going to stop you from approaching women in the first place, especially the more attractive you think they are, and this happened to me the other day, and so there's this girl at the gym, her name's Haley, and I think she's absolutely gorgeous, bro. But for some fucking reason, my mind kept coming up with reasons as to why I shouldn't do it. And then there was a point where I was talking to this girl, Deanna, and she was like, I can see you staring at that girl. Just go up and talk to her. I'm like, I want to, but I don't feel like it right now. I don't feel good enough to want to go up and approach her. And that right there, I don't feel like doing it. That's an excuse. Okay? That's an excuse. That is anxiety or an excuse of like, I want this girl to like me and I don't know if she will or not. So she was like, Mitchell, she's right there. Just go do it. And I was like, you know what? I was like, you're right. Fuck it. Let's do it. And I just rolled up to her with my dog. And I sat there and I waited for her to look at me and I was like, hey, what's your name? And then her name was Haley. And now she didn't ask me for my name, but we had a conversation. Very bubbly girl, very great personality, fucking awesome, man. And I rolled away and I was like, dude, I was worried about that for what reason? What reason? In that entire conversation that we were having, even though she didn't ask me for my name, she never asked me any personal questions, so I'm at the point now where I don't think she's even interested in me, but that's besides the point. Where I'm trying to go with this is I was hesitant to go up and talk to a girl because I thought that she's gorgeous. And Doc Love says that beautiful women are kryptonite to men. So you guys are going to find that the more attractive you find this girl, the harder it's going to be to do it. Now, until you go up and approach enough girls and just say, hey, excuse me, what's your name? That anxiety is going to be harder and harder and harder and harder to do, right? So, in that case, and if you let's say you don't want to approach girls first, okay? What do you do? Well, what I'm going to recommend is you can go to a mall, go to a grocery store, a farmer's market, just walk around, look at people, and intentionally say, hey, excuse me, good morning, or hey, excuse me, good afternoon. Hey, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hey, excuse me, man, I went up to this girl at Publix today. Literally looked at her and I was like, wow, you're fucking, I was like, you're hot, dude. And I went up to her, like right when I was leaving Publix. I had no intention of talking to this girl because she was checking out. And I literally just went up to her, I said, hey, excuse me. And she goes, yeah. And I was like, you are fucking gorgeous, by the way. And she goes, oh my God, thank you so much. And I was like, yeah, you're welcome. And I rolled away. That's all I wanted to do. Probably made that girl's day. I don't know if I did or not, but I'm going to say that I did because most men won't just go up and randomly do that to a girl. Even if it's a compliment like that, so beautiful women get told they're beautiful all the time. But when you've got someone like me that's going to go up to a girl literally out of nowhere and just say like, you are fucking gorgeous, by the way, and I'm saying it without trying to get in her pants or whatnot, because that's all I want to do. She's going to know that's on, because I'm not trying to continue a conversation. She's going to know that was a genuine compliment. Most guys don't do that when it comes to women. Yet I, a guy in a wheelchair, have absolutely no problem going up to girls and doing that. I did it to another girl at the gym today. The same thing. This girl with pink headphones. I've seen her around a couple times. I don't know how old she is. She looks around close to my age, I would say. And I went up to her and said, hey, excuse me, what's your name? And she goes, my name's Brittany. I was like, hey, I literally just wanted to come up and tell you that you are fucking gorgeous to look at. And she goes, oh my God, thank you. I said, yeah, girl. I was like, hey, have a great rest of the workout. I'll see you around. I literally turned my wheelchair around, rolled away, and I heard her. She goes, you have a good day. That's all I wanted to do. But you're not going to get to that point. You're not going to be able to approach girls like that if this is new to you, if you don't have somebody like me that can teach you how to do it. So remember, we want to start with incremental steps. Now, if you're good at talking to people like me, all you have to do to be able to start a conversation with a girl that you don't know is be able to have a conversation with a friend. If you can have conversations with some of your female friends or guy friends, then you already possess the ability to go up and talk to a girl that you don't know. The hardest part is getting over that anxiety that's going to stop you. The reason why you have that anxiety in the first place is because you're putting too much value on what this girl thinks about you. And from what I'm learning from Mark, that's weak and needy behavior. And because we want to come off as like indifferent, like we could care less if she likes me or if she doesn't. And you won't get to that point until you start approaching girls. And if you're new to this, yeah, it's going to be hard, man. It's going to be hard, but just remember, if you know what to do, like if you know how to approach a girl, that makes overanalyzing the situation not like as bad, if that makes sense. Because like analysis paralysis, where you're trying to find the perfect thing to say, you're trying to find a perfect way to approach her, that's going to stop you from approaching her. But if you go up to her and say, hey, excuse me, what's your name? I promise you, bro, I have never been rejected except for that one girl that literally looked like she was disgusted to see a man. And I've approached tons of girls, bro. So if you do that, I promise you, the only thing you have to worry about is just telling yourself, let's just do it. And you're going to see the more times you approach girls, the better. Now, what also helps too is what I've noticed over time is warming up. I call this warming up your social skills. So it's like when you go to the gym and you work out, you don't just start lifting your maximum weight immediately. You're going to do a few warm-up sets before you get into your working sets. The same thing applies when it comes to talking to people. It is super difficult to feel in the mood to go up and talk to somebody when you haven't spoken to anybody in the day. So I go to the gym at about 9 o'clock. Today I had to go to the orthodontist to get my retainer fitted for my teeth. So I went at about 8 o'clock, 8:30 today. So at that time right there, even though I'm on, like, by that time, dude, I'm drinking like 400 milligrams of caffeine, sometimes 500. It's nuts. But by that time, man, like I haven't spoken to anybody yet. I woke up, I took my dog out, I drank coffee, got ready for the gym, drank my pre-workout, and I'm going. Right? I haven't had time to warm up that social skill yet. So but if you can start talking to friends first, so if you see people that you know, like at the gym, for example, it's going to be much easier to go up and talk to them because you're already familiar with them. That anxiety of approaching somebody you don't know, it's not going to be there. And then when you start feeling good about, like you're going to start feeling good because you're socializing. When I went up to that girl, Brittany, at the gym, I didn't even think about it. I literally told Scott and Ashley, I'm going to go up and tell that girl she's beautiful. And that's what I did. without even hesitating. I told them I'm going to go do it, and I did it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's easier to start approaching people you don't know when you can warm up your social skills, because you're like, yeah, I feel like I've had several conversations and I feel like I know how to hold a conversation right now. All you got to do is if you're like me, when you start talking, I start feeling good. I'm very extroverted, so I start feeling good when I start talking, bro. I literally went to the gym today. I'm at the point now where like I'll go to the gym and I'm starting to have people make fun of me or call me out for not working out because all I'm doing now is just talking to people. But I tell them, like, I'm a single male. That's what I want to do. I'm a single male that's going out and talking to girls, man. I'm doing what most guys won't do. So if I want to work out, I'm going to do it. If I want to talk to people, I'm going to do it. But it's so funny because now they're making fun of me for doing that. And today I went to the gym with the intention of actually working out. And then 2.5 hours later, I did like half a workout, and I had maybe, God, I had so many people come up and talk to me. So it's kind of funny how that's working out. But another thing too that I'm noticing is I'm able to do this more at the gym than, let's say, like out in public, like at the mall, for example. And I'm noticing because when you start talking to people in like certain environments or areas, so for me, if I'm at the farmer's market and it's outside and somebody talks to my dog or mentions my dog, I'll ask them, do you want to pet my dog? And that's easy to start talking to them. Or if I'm at like the gym, for example, well, I know because I'm at the gym very often and I know a lot of people there. When I meet someone new at the gym, I'm like associating the environment with the positive memories of like meeting a new person. So it's a little easier to do that at the gym because that's basically my social time for the day. I mean, I work from home. I'm in my house all day long. So my social time is when I go to the gym. So I look forward to that. Now, because I'm in a wheelchair, I can only work out, the same muscle groups. That's it. So I literally do the same things every single day. So as you can imagine, working out can be pretty boring. So if I want to go and talk to somebody, like, I'm going to go out and do it, man. Because not only, like, my focus now is less on working out, even though I still will, but more on trying to improve my social skills. Because the better I get at that, the better I can teach you guys. And I'm trying to teach you guys in this video right now that you want to start in little incremental steps. I started straight with the girls and just said, hey, excuse me, what's your name? That's if you want to start there, do that enough times until you eventually don't get the anxiety of going up and meeting a new girl. I think to an extent you'll always get that anxiety, but you're going to notice that the more people you meet, that you're like, wow, it's literally that easy. Mitchell was right. I literally just go up, they tell me their name, and I can either keep talking to them or I can walk away. And then when you gotta understand signs of interest, because if you could tell when a girl likes you or when she doesn't like you, and my book covers all of that, then you can tell, even if she doesn't ask you for your name up front, when you talk to her, if she's like, if she's talking to you but then looking away, or if she's talking to you but she's giving you very like short answers, short responses, or she seems like she wants to go back to working out, or she wants to go back to doing, she looks at her phone, or if she's not asking you personal questions, those are signs that this girl really is not interested in you and she kind of wants you to go away. So when you start picking up on that, you'll get better and better at talking to girls, and then you'll eventually see, like, you can get to a point where you can feel that this girl's into you more so than like another girl. So if you're going to ask for a girl's number and ask her out on a date, we want to get to the point, we want to ask the girls that we can tell are into us, or at least we think they are, based on the fact that they're engaging in the conversations, they're explaining answers to you very elaborately, because that's what girls like to do when they like you. They'll talk all the time. If they ask you personal questions, bro, that's a very good sign. A girl that doesn't like you ain't going to ask you questions. I can tell you that right now. So if a girl starts talking to you and she asks you personal questions and she seems like she's engaged in the conversation, ask her for the number, bro. Ask her out on a date. Why not? What do you have to lose? If she's asking you questions, chances are she's asking you because she likes you. She ain't going to ask somebody else that she doesn't like that. I promise you. I've spoken to enough girls to know that if she doesn't like you, she's not going to ask you questions. Right? But if you don't want to, like, if like having conversations with girls is you know, it's a lot for you right now, well, then start by asking them, hey, what's your name? Oh, wow, Katie, wow, it's really good to meet you. Hey, I just wanted to come up and introduce myself. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the workout, and if you see me around, come up and say hi. And then if she likes you after that, in the future, she might come up to you. So she approaches you first. That's a good sign. Because, again, she's putting herself in your orbit. If she didn't want to talk to you, she wouldn't have done that. So that could happen in the future, right? You could have a girl come up and approach you. Oh, my God, hi, how are you? Right? Stuff like that. So did you guys? I hope you guys understand this. Like, if you're trying to work on your social skills, I gave you the word for word phrase on what to say so you can learn how to approach girls. But your anxiety of approaching girls isn't going to get better until you find a way to say, oh, let's just do it. And then you got to actually do it, okay? Now, I do have a video that, I got like a really bad itch right here. I do have a video that I want you guys to watch. It's called something about, like, don't beat yourself up if you miss an opportunity with a girl. By the time this video comes out, that video will be released. That's the video with the mindset of, like, listen, if what I'm telling you right now about going up and meeting a girl, if that's too much for you in that situation, or for whatever reason you stopped yourself, don't beat yourself up. It's okay, man. Okay, you're not going to approach every single girl. Like I said, sometimes I want to approach a girl, but yet my anxiety of, like, dude, that's a dime right there, bro. I can do it. But, oh, she's on this weird leg machine right now. Nah, if I see her around, then I'll go up to her then. Right, you'll start coming up with excuses. But I'm telling you, man, don't beat yourself up. It's totally cool if you miss an opportunity with a girl. There's always another girl, man. There's always another girl that you'll find just as attractive, or there's another girl where going up and introducing yourself to her won't be that difficult, or if you're like me, it can sometimes just kind of naturally happen. And I think when it starts naturally happening, you've talked to enough people to where your subconscious is now taking over. That's where we want to get to. If you're able to do stuff without even thinking about it, that means you're competent and you're confident, because people who are confident do things really well. And they can do it really well, typically without thinking about it. But that's not going to come until you just go and approach more girls. Now, if there are some books that I can recommend that you read, you can pick up mine. I just released it. There's a link down in the description where you click that. There's going to be a video on the next page that will explain how that book's going to help and why it's good. Other books, if I had to go, let me go ahead and pull up my audio right now. 3% Man by Corey Wayne is one book. Models by Mark Manson is another book. And then the last one that I want to give you guys right now, if I go to my library, is going to be, The Way of the Superior Man is a book that any man needs to read. That one's by David Dieta. If you have not read that book and you're a man, you need to read that book, bro. I think that should be mandatory for anybody, especially when it comes to getting good with women, because women want a masculine man. That book's going to teach you how to be a man. And the last book is going to be The Dating Playbook for Men. That one's by Andrew Farabee. That's a really good one too. That one's a lot about like mindset and basically like how you need to act. And I do cover a little bit of that in my book as well. I go over things like confidence, indifference, and other things that other books like emotional intelligence, like understanding how a girl's reacting emotionally. Books like that, I haven't seen that covered yet, so I brought it up in my book. But in that case, then, like I said, man, if you're trying to learn social skills, even if it doesn't have to be with girls, it could be with people in general. I like to go to Publix, which is a grocery store, or the mall, or the farmer's market. I'll go to the farmer's market and I'll just start saying good morning to quite literally every single person I see. Ladies, good morning. Hey guys, good morning. Guys, hey, beautiful dog, man, good morning. And just say that, because when you're out in sunlight too, the sunlight's going to produce like happy chemicals, like it literally does. So being outside does make this process a little easier. So that's what I recommend. If you don't want to go up to a girl straight away, just go up and say good morning. That's called like stage one, if you will, on practicing your social skills, is getting good at talking to strangers that you don't know. So start with people you don't know. Start with people that you would never ask out like romantically. And then if you're like me, you want to go up to girls. Hey, excuse me, what's your name? I promise you guys, if you can do that, you will see that it's not that, like, girls will happily give you their name as long as you go up and do it in a confident manner. Do not go up to a girl and just be like, oh, hey, excuse me, I know you're working out right now, and I'm so sorry for bothering you, but I'm trying to practice what my coach is telling me right now. I want to, what's your name? Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. You're acting like a beta male. Women like confident men. So if you're going to do this, and it's hard for you, fake it until you make it. Hey, excuse me, what's your name? Wow, Lisa, wow, hey, it's so good to meet you. Oh, it's good to meet you too. What's your name? I'm Mitchell. I'm Mitchell. Hey, what are you working out today? It looks like legs, but I don't want to assume. Wow, legs. Wow, girl, you look like you can squat more numbers in here than guys can, man. Now, depending on that one, when I said that one out loud right now, yeah, that's pretty good, because I talked to two girls today. That Haley girl, I was like, dude, you're warming up with like 135 right now. I was like, shit. I was like, you squat more than dudes here. I'm like, are you a trainer? So you could just continue conversations off like that, okay? So I hope you guys like that video, man. That's going to be, like I said, Social Skills 101. If you have any questions, you can leave them down in the comments below, and I'll answer them. If you want to get better, if you're a guy looking to get better at dating or long-term relationships, check out my book, man. That link will be in the description. Like I said, click the link. There's going to be a video on the next page that's going to explain why my book works so well, and it's going to explain how it's going to help you. Same thing with my coaching. If you want to work with me personally so we can fast track your success in life with personal development, mindset, confidence, personal life, relationships, coaching, business or career-wise and making more money, that link's going to be down below. Same thing. There's going to be a video that's going to explain to you why my coaching works so well and how it's going to help you. And then you can decide from there if it's worth, paying for a session with me. With that being said, guys, if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.